In this video, I'm going to break down, react, and review Alison Luff singing She Used to Be Mine. So, let's sing something. La la la! If you are new to my channel, be sure to like and subscribe, hit that little bell icon. This channel teaches you how to sing. Yay! So if you're like, wait, I don't really want to learn how to sing. I just want to know how Alison does what she does in the song. That's okay. You're also on the right channel. Today I'm going to vocally analyze her vocals, kind of tell you how she does what she does in the throat, the whole dealio, and we're all going to learn together while I'm trying to keep my camera steady on this platform in the room in Phuket. So let's get started.
It's not simple to say that most days I don't recognize me, that these shoes and this apron, that place and its patrons have taken more than I gave them.
Oh my God. That was just, who did not get pulled into that? Who did not just get drawn into it? I love the fact that, and if you've been watching my channel, you know that I oftentimes am really against closing off words that you don't have to, but even in this, when she just did taken more, like the way that she did it, it was still so far placed forward and floaty and connected that I was okay with taken instead of taken with an open. I was still fine with that. I think it sounded amazing. Her characterization, just bringing it right in at the very beginning.
It's not easy to know I'm not anything like I used to be, although it's true I was never.
So she's delaying as she's coming in, which gives a feeling of inner monologue, which is kind of what this is anyways. She also did a little bit of vocal fry, which is behind it. It's not easy to know. I'm not anything. I'm not exactly sure if I remember where she put it, but she just put the which is actually pretty common as you're going in your talking. You can kind of hear with my voice that I have a little bit of that vocal fry backing as I am talking. And the placement that she's putting it, she's purposely putting it while she's kind of looking down, pulling inward more with the thought process, and then the next lines are coming out without the vocal fry to give it more of an opening feeling in some ways.
Attention, sweet center, I still remember that girl.
That was the fry.
She's imperfect, but she tries.
Oh.
She is good, but she lies.
That was beautiful. So she's holding on. She is good, but she lies. She's doing it with a straight tone, first of all. So it's not she is good. There's no vibrato there. It's a straight tone. So she's controlling her vibrato to create a type of tension. When you don't, the vibrato is almost like a release in some ways of tension. So if you hold a straight tone, it's going to give this feeling of wanting resolve. And she's resolving as she's going, but she lies. That the ending phrases is where she's finally giving that resolution, or resolving it. Resolution? Does that work? I don't even know. But by creating that straight tone and holding it and then resolving with that next phrase, it creates a pulling sensation. And I highly suggest you as a singer to try this. You can control it with your hand, straight tone, vibrato, though it would be good to base it off of the body, but it is something to take into note. How does this make it feel? What kind of feeling goes behind as an audience? What am I feeling when I'm hearing a straight tone and when I'm hearing the vibrato, even as we continue this?
She is hard on herself.
Straight tone, then vibrato.
She is broken and won't ask for help. She is messy, but she's kind.
So I love that she's picking, I mean, this has to be pre-planned, but she's picking certain words to really bring in the characterization. So she is messy, but she's kind. It's like kind. She's more saying the word with notes attached rather than, but she's kind, which is just straight up singing forward. She's choosing certain words to give that deep emotion and really go more spoken. And it's perfectly placed too.
She is lonely most of the time. She is all of this mixed up and baked in a beautiful pie.
Oof, oof.
She is gone, but she used to be mine.
So right there, you could hear that she's gonna kick this thing out the park. You could hear it with that mine. Like she had to kind of hold it back just a little bit because you know she's going to let loose later to create those dynamics. Now, as she's doing this, notice it was not placed back. There was not weight placed on it. She placed it up here and then leaned it forward. So making sure that as you're approaching this song, that you're lifting up. You're thinking everything's like lifted and happy up in here, and then leaning from there rather than so there, straight tone into vibrato, but making sure we're lifted in that soft palate.
It's not what I asked for. Sometimes life just slips in through a back door and carves out a person and makes you believe it's all true. Now I've got you, and you're not what I asked for. If I'm honest, I know I would give it all back for a chance to start over and Okay. Before she starts getting into this more and more, I get asked a lot, how do you combine emotion with singing? And I will tell you 100%, I guarantee you, she takes the song and she picks it apart. She learns all of the technique on how to approach this. Then she adds in the emotion. Then she adds in the characterization. So that way she has the foundation of a solid technique behind the song, and then she can let loose into it. If you don't have that solid foundation and you try to go and do emotions, it's not going to happen. The emotions are going to tighten up the throat, because when you're crying and when you're emotional, your throat naturally tightens up. That's just what it does. So you have to make sure that you have the foundation behind to keep it nice and open while still applying and digging into the emotion of the song, being able to let go of the technique, knowing that it will be there, knowing that it will support you, and then digging into, like, what does the song mean to me? What does this trigger in me? What life things have I gone through that I can then connect this song to.
An ending or two for the girl that I knew who was reckless just enough, who gets hurt, but who learns how to toughen up when she's bruised and gets used by a man who can't love.
Woo, she is pissed. I've never seen this version before. I like it. She ain't messing around. For a man who can love. And she's just like, there is body tension, but it's done in such a nice way. And if you hear, the reason why her voice is just soaring is because the whole time she's lifting up. The whole time she's activating. You can kind of tell the difference in it in tone because it doesn't feel like it's sitting back here. It doesn't feel like, by a man who can, it's not back here. By a man who can, it's up here. It's in this frame, and she keeps it there the entire time. You can hear it. It never drops down. And that's how she's able to do what she does while allowing that emotion to come in, because that emotion is going to bring in weight. But as long as she's pinging it and popping it up here and placing the sound up here, then she can apply that emotion and it won't drop it and not allow the jumps that are needed for these gorgeous belting notes.
And then she'll get stuck and be scared of a life that's inside her, growing stronger each day, till it finally reminds her to fight just a little, to bring back the fire in her eyes.
Okay, so fire is one that I've worked on this song with another student, and fire was something that they really had a hard time on. And what we did, and that what she just did there, you can hear fire, like there's a double, it almost sounds like there are two notes, but it feels like two different sections. Making sure that as you approach this, you're thinking of the first section of the fire as being the high note, and the second section of the fire being continuing forward. And that's basically what she did. Opening up, and then on the second section of that fire, opening up and even more. So, fire, fire in her eyes. So it's sorry, it's hard because I have this freaking thing plugged in my ear. But placing it high first, leading from there, rather than fire, then you're bringing up the weight. And I hope I'm not blowing out your guys' ears on these. But fire in her eyes. So it's there. It's staying lifted first, continuing forward. And that's exactly what she did. Let's look at her mouth when she sings the mine. I guarantee you it's going to be totally beautiful and open.
That's been gone, but used to be mine.
I can hear it.
Used to be mine.
Woo! 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 I'm hot in here. That was amazing. That was beautiful. And she gave it a little bit of that gut behind it. It had a little bit of that. I mean, man, you could just feel her pain. I almost feel bad even vocally breaking this down. Like, if you haven't heard this before, and like me, I want to watch it again and just watch it and really dig into it that way. Because sometimes on these songs, you guys, I got to vocally break it down for you, but on a song like this and a performer like this, I got to go back to it and really just enjoy it. But anyways, as she's doing that mine, you could see
It's all in here. And again, we go into it. We're with this note. It's lifted. It's pinged to the front. Mine, not mine. It's not in the chest. It's not a push from the chest. It is all popped up here, leaning it forward. And then she gives it a little bit of tension slowly towards the end to give it that kick that it needs, because she's pissed. As a character, she's pissed, obviously. And so you need to add that in. But, I mean, the whole time she's lifted and open. Beautiful.
She is messy.
Okay, so she just went from the ping in the front. Now she just added extra air. When you add in the extra air, it helps soften it. So instead of she is messy, it's she is messy. Excess air coming on out. She is messy. Instead of she is messy. So it's ping, but it's got that air. And you can do this just by a ha sensation, ha air, as you're singing to add in that softer texture. Now, as you do this, make sure that you're focusing forward, because when you add that extra air, it's going to want to drop and you'll lose that floating sensation that she has here. Make sure that you're focusing it forward, which is exactly what she's doing here. She's like a perfect example of what to do. Do what she does.
But she's kind.
Oh, God.
She is lonely most of the time. She is all of this mixed up and baked in a beautiful pie.
Nice combination.
She is gone, but
she's using the silence right now as music, and I like to always point this out, because as a singer and as a performer, we have a tendency of wanting to fill up the space. As a singer, she is using the time that there's no music, the silence in it is the music. And I say this a lot, the silence is still music, and it's creating, and as a listener, you're being pulled in. And you're waiting for what's said next. So it creates its own music. So as a singer and as a performer, make sure that you give the space without music its proper time, because it also is part of the package.
she used to be
Jesus. Go ahead and click here for my cheat sheet on how to sing like Alison Luff. Click here for a video that I picked out just for you. And fellow singers, come hang out with me in my Facebook group. The link is down below, and I will see you in the next song. La la la.